Another glorious day it is. Thank goodness. Made it this far. Let's see how much further I can make it. Getting older and older by the day. But here it is. Red Light Chronicles. How's everybody doing? Hopefully well. This is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Steep Mister for a Sister, and The Spirit the World Has Forgotten. And today, I kind of want to speak on the conversation or the language being used in today's dating, mating, and relationship conversation about the terms provide and protect. Provide and protect. Now, these are age-old notions from the beginning of time, from the beginning of recorded history. But for black male and female relationships, it means so much more different than the way it's being used today. You see, the notion of provide and protect that most black people are using today is really based from a westernized values standpoint. In a sense that the man is supposed to be able to provide and protect, whatever woman he chooses to deal with. Provide for and protect from, let me say it that way. Issues and circumstances and situations, the woman that he chooses to be with. Now, the provide and protect comes from an agricultural and based ideology, wherein the man, he had to do the heavy lifting, and he had to build the homes and things like that, and he also had to protect that woman from harm from other men or wildlife. When it goes back to the times when people were working in farms or cultivating fields and things like that, or if they were nomadic tribes and they actually were hunter-gatherers. So that's where the notion of provide and protect comes from, as far as a westernized viewpoint. Now, for black people, you see, historically, it is from the same concepts, but also within that narrative, women had their part also. They had a duty too. As far as black people are concerned, or African people from way back in that time, the women, they had to also take care of the crops, take care of the home, and take food to market to sell, to also provide for the family. While the man, he may have cultivated the fields, built the homes, did the heavy lifting and work in his efforts to provide and protect for the family. So it was dual. Both parties, both men and women, had to play their part and do their duty to maintain the family. Now, in today's language, provide and protect is centered primarily around a man providing income, for the woman, or having an income to be able to, in a sense, take care of her, and also to protect her from physical harm from other black men. That's what's really going in the head. That's what's really going on in the head. In a sense that it always keeps black men within the society in some form of contentious action or counteraction, really against black men or against the system of white supremacy, which is, it's going to happen anyway. Now, we as black people, we need to change that notion. We need to change the understanding of the notion back to a form that more fits us as a people. Because you see, simply by us being the out group, as far as black men within this society, it's a very hard thing for the multitude of black men to do, to provide for their woman, to be able to sustain an income large enough to be able to provide for a woman or take care of a woman in today's very pricey times. Now, I can understand, you got to have a man, if you're a woman, let me get that right. You got to have you a man that can truly take care of itself. And that's the thing a lot of women need to look at, is if you're in the dating market and you want a man that can actually provide, look for a man that can actually take care of himself. And then considering, that there's a lot of new freedoms for women nowadays, and they're also able to bring, income to the table, then think of it as together, the two of y'all can put those two incomes together, and then actually, it'd be a double benefit for the both of you. Both of y'all actually save money. But a man also provides way more than just income to a woman. You see, if a man is really on his ball and he's got some kind of intelligence about himself, he's done the study necessary to make him a more knowledgeable and effective man. Not only can he provide income for a woman, he can also provide her with knowledge and understanding of the world, give her substance. He can also provide, in a sense, a relative sense of security. Well, that would be protect. He should be able to provide her with a relative sense of comfort in that woman knowing that her man is very stable. He's very consistent. He's very, he's unchanging in a sense, because she should know that man is going to get up and do what he necessarily has to do every day over years to come to be able to make sure that that woman knows that man is consistent. That's really what a man provides beyond income. Now, when it comes to protection is really key too. As a man, you should be able to protect yourself. You should be able to go out and, according to your means and your capabilities and your abilities, learn some form of self-defense or have some knowledge that you can use just in case you need to defend yourself against some people out here who just have no scruples at all. But protection, as far as for a woman, is actually entails or actually contains within it a form of being able to protect a woman from her own intuitive self. Because sometimes a woman, she can sit there and get so frazzled or frenetic in her mind, and she might actually, about a certain situation that may be happening or something that may potentially happen, and before she can calm herself, she gets herself into a frenzy, and she might cause more harm to herself than what would have been if she had a man there who had some foresight, had some understanding about the situation or situations, be able to bring some reason to the scenario, and to be able to calm the fears of this woman before she actually, emotionally runs herself ragged. But that pertains on but that really matters to whether or not the woman is willing to listen to what the man has to say. And again, that goes back into comfort. If that woman is able to see that man is consistent and brings her comfort, then maybe she's more willing to listen, possibly. But because a lot of the women today, man, they've been trained not to listen to anything a goddamn black man has to say, because their minds have been imbued with such, a massive amount of scientific racism against their own selves that, getting many black women to listen to what a black is just, it's a monumental task. But you as a man, you ain't got to worry about so much whether or not she's willing to listen. But what you would have to worry about is actually having the capabilities to bring some clarity to a given situation for that woman. And whether she listens or not, that's on her. As a man, you just make sure that you're able to, you position yourself to where you actually protect yourself, just in case, one, she doesn't listen, and two, before the situation gets too far, out of hand, you're able to corral it and make sure that everything is going to be stable eventually in the end. So, and also, as far as protection is concerned, like I said, it's not just from physical harm, and it does entail giving her some form of emotional balance. Also, protection for the man is foresight, to be able to utilize her intuition if she's if she's capable, if she's a good woman and giving you some intuition, using that, run it through your reason, and build your foresight and chart a path, that's going to be the best one for the two of you to operate within this white supremacist system. And that goes into the language that's being used, like partnership. Okay. And some say that, that word partnership, and this is very true, the word partnership actually deals more with the same sex community. Because instead of saying like, it's male or female, or it's a marriage, they call it like a partnership because it's two of the same sex. So to, so to kind of remove or lessen, the psychological confusion, from gender labels, they call it a partnership, so as to where, the same-sex union can be included. And that's true, but one thing we have to look at as black people is that black men and women, we have to look at every relationship that we have to look at as a partnership, as two becoming one together against systematic white supremacy. That's where a partnership comes into being. That means that each individual person is doing the best that they can to make sure that the other is sustained and be able to navigate and progress under systematic white supremacy. So that would mean for the man, he has to give himself the education, in all of the various skill sets that he may accumulate by gaining the knowledge. He has to utilize those skill sets that he has for the best benefit of not only himself, but if he has a woman that's worth her, her weight in gold, for her also. Same goes for the woman. She also, when she's moving through this society, she also has to have the understanding of the nature of white supremacy. As the man, if he's really capable, he has provided her with the insight into how it functions. And her, if she listens, she's going to actually take that knowledge that she gets from that man and actually apply it to her everyday life. Now, when she moves throughout the society, her focus is to make sure that in every action that she does, it bolsters, her man and supports her man to the best of her abilities, everything she does. So, if she's making money and she brings it home and, the man wants to pay the bills, she knows that man is consistent, that man cares for her, she can give him the money, and he's more capable at finances, she can give him the money, bam, he takes care of the bills. Same in the, in the obverse, if the man, he's out there making the money, his woman is more capable in finances, bam, he can give her the money, she can take care of the bills first. And when that man, considering he is the primary target, for the system, for destruction by systematic white supremacy, that woman has cultivated her empathy and her understanding of that system, and she can utilize her natural empathy and desire to extend love to actually counsel that man when he comes home having to have faced white supremacy all day. And that's something that's lost, that a lot of black men out here really need from their women, is for them to be knowledgeable. It's for those women to be knowledgeable and be able to comfort, the men when they come home after being out doing battle against systematic white supremacy. So in closing, we have to change, we don't have to necessarily change the values of provide and protect, but we do have to change how we look at how provide and protect functions for both black men and women under systematic white supremacy. It's not just about income, and it's not just about protection from physical violence. It's about both parties raising their understandings of the nature of the system that we live up under, and being able to benefit each other as best to the abilities that we can, you know, to be able to, you know, shore up the shortcomings that a man may have, and for that man to be able to shore up the shortcomings that a woman may have. And in that together, we can become a partnership or a power unit against systematic white supremacy. So that's the way of looking at it. Hopefully I got some points across that might be useful, but you know, sometimes I try. A little convoluted at times, but yeah, I try. Hopefully I got some across though. But this is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Steeped Mister for a Sister, and of course, Spirit the World Has Forgotten, available at Amazon.com and Lulu.com, iBooks, and Barnes & Noble. Peace.